on, guys? Welcome to another episode of High Ground Unscripted podcast. Here with the host, Official Insanity, OG Bam, and our co-host, Kat, Jay, and Pretty Spook. First off, how you guys doing this week?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great.
Yeah, I'm doing all right, bro. I'm doing all right.
What about you, Spooky? No Spooky?
I don't know.
The show shall go on.
Yep.
Special announcement, actually. I got two announcements to start off this podcast. The first announcement, today is the birthday of Tom Kenny, voice actor of SpongeBob, along with the voice actor of, what was that guy? The Ice King from Adventure Time, and a couple other people that you may know. So happy birthday to Tom Kenny, definitely a legend in our childhood. And although we usually make sure we don't get into any political debates, we do have some breaking news that at a Trump rally, he was shot at today, which was very interesting. What are you guys' reactions to that? Starting with Jay.
Just to quote a famous movie, just a bit outside. He tried for the corner. No, I'm just kidding. That literally just hit me on a random notification on my phone, and as soon as I load on Twitter, boom, there's a video, and I don't really have much to say or comment about. The fact of the matter is that he got that he got shot at, and they missed, and I'll just leave it with this, just like it did with Reagan in like the 80s when they almost shot him. Well, they did, but he lived through that. But it actually helped him win his election that year, because I think he was like losing before that, but then it helped him win because it made his campaign stronger. So apparently, I have a bad feeling and a strong feeling that that's going to be the case with this, because they missed. And that's all I'm going to say. Who's next?
No problem. What about you, Kat?
Well, I thought it was one. It was pretty shocking, but I think the only thing I really want to say is that I send my condolences out to the person that was in the rally that ended up losing his life. There was only one person that got harmed during that time. So my condolences are to the family, and just my good vibes and prayers are with them in particular. And yeah, that's pretty much all I really have to say on that.
I didn't even know somebody got iced. So yeah,
yes,
rest in peace to that individual. I will give my condolences to them.
Yeah, rest in peace to that person, and no doubt. I'm just now finding out about it a couple hours ago, and I didn't even know someone got hit. So for sure, condolences to the family. Next topic that we're gonna get into. How about the fact that we got the return of the Bad Blood PLE coming out soon, and the advertisement was with Metro Boomin and Cody Rhodes. So let's get you guys' thoughts, starting with Kat, on the Bad Blood pay-per-view coming out. Were you the type to really care about the Bad Blood pay-per-view back then? And what are your thoughts on the Metro Boomin collaboration on the advertisement?
Okay, so I think I'll start with the advertisement first. I thought, first of all, I love the advertisement of Metro Boomin. It's great that WWE is continuing to get celebrities and music stars into the wrestling realm, and just getting them involved, as we've seen with The Weeknd doing the WrestleMania, Bad Bunny. Even Jelly Roll being part of the little segments in Raw. I think it's just great. And I love the promo. I was in love with the whole promo with him and Cody Rhodes. So I think it's great. Now, in terms of the Bad Blood pay-per-view, I can't really say I really felt like a bit indifferent about it, because when I was like a child, I was just glad that wrestling was on, and there was things that happened. So But I will say I'm glad for the storylines that may come into play for this PLE for Bad Blood, seeing that it's gonna return because what we are expecting to happen on particularly Raw and SmackDown, especially with the developing storyline of Drew, CM Punk, and now Seth Rollins. So yeah, it's gonna be a very good pay per view. Especially, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of heated rivalries coming out of that. So yeah.
Nice. What about you, Jay?
So on the first part of it, on the advertisement, Metro Boomin, I thought that was pretty cool. That was kind of a random commercial like throughout that I saw with that, but didn't really expect that. But that is cool at least, like you said, to have other celebrities like that. Didn't really think I didn't think they really like pulled someone like Metro Boom like that, but I mean, I guess we're in that new kind of era where that's the case, but that's fine. And just like the whole other celebrities things, like they're gathering like these like newer celebrities like they used to in the past, but like making them like more involved in wrestling. Like just for like example, like the other week, when they were in MSG, they had Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton come out of nowhere and do a bit. I thought that was hilarious. That was cheesy as hell, but still hilarious. And it was just and it's just good to see both of them working together because I know they've like been good friends since like a while. Like they train together and everything. So now they're just doing wrestling together, doing something fun. So I don't know if they're gonna do anything different with that, but that was cool. Anyway, back to the Bad Blood pay per view. So it's kind of like the same thing with me and Cat Willie said. Like back then when Bad Blood was on, I didn't really think nothing of the actual pay per view. I just more focused on what was being featured in said pay per view. The name was just a name, But like I feel like especially when they bring back like the old like lower tier pay per views and make them NXT pay per views, the names actually kind of like they actually feel like they mean something to the actual stories a little bit. When it comes to the like when it comes to the actual like talent actually wrestling. So like in this case, like with Bad Blood, you're probably gonna have you're probably gonna have, like you said, like Liv versus Rhea. You're probably gonna have Cody versus Solo, Damian versus Finn, just to name a few random ones. Like rivalries that like good friends or people that you knew that you thought you trusted, turn against you. Now it's like a heated rivalry. It's like they're kind of like setting that up. And if anything, in that day and age, I like how they compared like that name Bad Blood to rivalries being settled. At least like that. I'm gonna stop now. That's all I got.
You're all good. I respect your opinion. For me, it was quite interesting. It caught me off guard when I went on social media one day and just saw Metro Boomin in a collaboration with wrestling. I was like, "Where's this going?" And then I saw it was the Bad Blood advertisement. I was a little kid, maybe like 4 or 5 years old when I heard about Bad Blood first, so I wasn't really knowing too much about it. But as far as the pay-per-view impact, I know it did have that one awesome match between Shawn Michaels and Triple H during that 2002 rivalry. That's pretty much all I know much about that pay-per-view. But I'm pretty excited, like Kat said, about the rivalries we had building up towards it. And staying on storylines, I want to get into this topic that I saw on Instagram. There's a handful of rivalries that we have going on right now, building up throughout the summer. So I wanted to get you guys' opinions on what is your favorite rivalry going on right now between the Bloodline storyline, Chad Gable and the Wyatt Six, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins, and the Judgment Day. Starting with Kat, what is your favorite storyline so far building up the summer?
My favorite storyline so far that I've had, that watching all of them, I would have to say it would have to be CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins. I do think CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, even with CM Punk not even being on, like being a active wrestler at the time, healing from his injury, the way they've played it so far has been fantastic and fantastic. And then having what happened in the last PLE, in which CM Punk ends up costing Drew and accidentally costing Seth, along with the promo that Seth and CM Punk had on last Monday. I think it's been nothing short of fantastic. So I think it is leading into triple threat territory, but we'll get, I feel like we'll get some single matches from all three competitors involved in this rivalry. So I think it's gonna be great leading into, SummerSlam and, furthermore for all other PLE. So yeah, that's my favorite storyline so far.
Nice. What about you, Jay? What you got going on for your storyline this summer?
So, well, that CM Punk and Drew McIntyre feud, that is feeding a lot of families in Africa, to be just to quote, to be precise. But it's definitely a close second to me, because just how they kept the Bloodline story alive with this like different angle about, how Solo's basically taken over on Roman's failure is pretty actually genius storytelling, just to keep a storyline that's been alive and thriving for 4 years now, almost 5 years. The story has been thriving. It's been amazing. And 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 when Roman comes back and he faces Solo, that's going to be a hell of a match. They are going to put on like probably the greatest show, and it's really going to be that and the action and the Punk and Drew feud at said predicted pay-per-view. That's really going to like blow the whole house down, like blow the whole roof off the house. So like I just love the whole Bloodline story, just a little bit, just to how long they kept it going. But that Drew and Punk storyline, that's really gonna be amazing. But that honorable mention to the Rhea Liv storyline, just with Dom involved, that's more comedic for me. But at the same time, like it's like soap opera drama kind of type of comedic. It's like it's not too dirty, but it's like really drama. Like you slept with my you slept with my girl type shit. But then I don't know. We don't even know if they slept together. But but yeah, that's how I would rank them. Like Bloodline, Drew and Punk, and Liv and Rhea. And I don't know what they're really doing with the Wyatt Six and Chad Gable yet. I feel like there may or may not be other people involved, but at the same time, I feel like that story behind the Alpha Academy, I feel like it's telling a story on itself, at least to start. But there might be some other stuff going on at the same time with that. But that's all I gotta say about that.
No doubt, no doubt. You got Spooky.
My favorite storyline right now would have to be the triangle feud, as they put it on Twitter, between Punk, Rollins, and Drew. It just over the past few months, it's gotten personal, hella personal. A lot of pettiness going around between Punk and Drew, and then you got an actual beef going on between Seth and Punk that spans back to 2014, I think, 2013. But yeah, for right now, my feud for right now is that triangle feud with Seth and Punk and Drew right now.
Yeah, not bad. For me, I'm stuck between the feud between Punk, Drew, and Seth and the Bloodline, because they're both building up so much intensity and animosity towards each other. Because you got on one side of the storyline, there's Punk and Seth building up that heat that they've had for the longest. Plus, Punk and Drew are just now causing heat with each other since his return. On top of that, you got the Bloodline. Solo's the quote unquote new tribal chief. He keeps
Chemo
bringing new
versus
members.
Bloodline.
Yeah, the team version of tribal chief, and he's bringing in new members every after every PLE damn near. So the only
Another
thing we're waiting
Dynamite.
on exactly, and we're waiting on Roman's return at this point and The Rock to see how far that goes. And most people are predicting that this could turn into a War Games match or just some regular 6-on-6 tag team match, something Bloodline versus Bloodline. But I'm definitely stuck between those two rivalries. Like Spooky said, I'm pretty confused with this White Six thing. I don't know where it's going. I know as far as the VHS thing, they're trying to like have us guess with these like little subliminals that they say between the skits that we need to catch on to some future rivalry that they're gonna have or something. I think that's what it leads to pretty much. But other than that, the Rhea, Dom, and Liv situation, that's just now building up now that Rhea's back. So I'm gonna give that time before I can really give my opinion on that. So far, now that Rhea's back though, I know we're in for a crazy ass Monday Night Raw, and who knows what happens at SummerSlam. But moving on from that topic, next up we got John Cena announcing his retirement. Now, along with this, I'm pretty shocked about this. And then again, it is that time for him to hang up the boots. He's 20 plus years in his career. He's pushing 50, maybe past 50 by now, I think. And he said it himself in interviews that his body can't take that type of damage anymore in the ring, and he can't last that long in long, lengthy matches. He's not the Super Cena that he used to be. So I'm cool with it. And my question to you guys is, what fantasy match are you really looking for in his retirement tour? And what's your number one favorite Cena memory as a kid? Starting with Jay.
What was the second part of that?
What's your favorite Cena memory growing up as a kid?
Oh, okay. So I hadn't really put extreme thought into the Dream last match like that, but I have had like kind of a few ideas. One of them kind of requires Edge to pull a whole turnaround from AEW and come back just for that and then go again, but I don't know how well that's gonna work. I'm cool with him being at AEW, but if they can make that just work where he just randomly comes back and then goes back just for that particular moment, that'd be awesome. But if not, I would, and it's been overplayed so many times, it kind of like mellows it down. But I'm almost certain that John and Randy can put on a hell of a match, like one last match, and if not him, AJ Styles, because that was amazing feud that hit between John Cena and AJ Styles. And my best memory of John Cena, it had basically in feud wise hit like him, like John Cena and the Edge, their whole feud together. That was probably my biggest memory storyline, but that had John Cena to do with it. Probably my favorite moment, and there's so many because I had one with him, rapping as the U.S. champion and throwing out like a bag of peanuts with the tagline "Choke on these." But I think my favorite one, because it happened in real time and I remember it so vividly, is when he threw Edge into the river. And I don't remember if it was the Ohio River or the Plamical Sound. But he threw him in the water, bro. He was beating him. They were fighting, and John said, "Time for a swim, kid." I was like, "No, he isn't." And he threw that bitch in the water completely. He just, I was like, "Holy shit! I hope Edge can swim." But they confirmed that he got out of there. He swam out, that they got him out of there, quote unquote. But that was a hell of a thing to see. John Cena just throw Edge into the river, and like I remember when Edge had retired. And he was telling John to like lock in for, I think, Brock Lesnar or somebody. He had went back and mentioned that when he threw him into the river, he had told him, "I need that John Cena to wake up." But like that moment just of him, like with him and Edge, and him getting thrown in the river. That was like my favorite John Cena moment ever. You know, this really feels like, and I said this in the stream. This almost feels like the equivalent of LeBron retiring for me, because they kind of started around the same time, and though LeBron seems like he's going to go a little bit longer, it is like till 2025. We don't know what happens in 2025 with that either. So this is kind of like hitting the same way, and it's really deep for me, you know, because I was such a fan back then, because I was in middle school when this man debuted. I'm showing my age, but I don't care this time. I actually don't care. I'm gonna let somebody else go. My bad.
Fucking elderly people.
Go ahead, Spooky. You got next.
I don't care.
Oh shit! My dream matchup. Oh shit! That's a lot, to be honest. I guess him and Punk would be a good one for memory's sake, in a way, because they did have a really good rivalry between 2013 and 2014, I think it was. And the history there is just it's too pure to kind of be looked over next year, since he's doing his farewell tour. Him and Randy's another good one too. What's another good one? Yeah, I don't know. Well, as for memories, I guess him announcing Osama bin Laden's death at its Scream Rule.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good
Like,
one, because I remember that too.
I remember being a kid. I'm like, huh? Who's Osama bin Laden, bro?
Oh. Oh my god.
We are all doomed.
Oh man.
We are doomed.
But growing up now, I figured out who he was. I'm like, oh, that's who John was talking about. Extreme.
That hurt.
Another good moment was when he told Dolph Ziggler that you're full of shit, and legit dropped a whole bucket of shit onto him and AJ during their quote unquote wedding.
Oh.
And fucking the AJ Styles feud he did with yeah. So
he got John Cena.
Yep. But that Osama bin Laden one was crazy.
It's so random too.
Osama had never been past the school year, I see.
Oh no.
Moving on from Osama, though, he get canceled as a podcast.
I mean, he's dead. He's dead, so it's cool. Anyway,
extremely dead.
There's still some sensitive people out there. You'd be surprised. But go ahead, Kat.
Yeah, I got you. Like, let me start off with the dream matches first. So, guess the dream matches I have for John Cena. One of them is that it will be CM Punk. I know CM Punk mentioned it in the after show for shoot, I forgot what the PLE was. Yes, right, exactly. And so basically, I would like to see CM Punk and John Cena go at it again. There is also another wrestler that no one has mentioned that I think would be great to see, and that would be John Cena versus Braun Breaker. I think they would put on a really good match. If this is the last go at it, I would love to see it. I would love to see Braun Breaker versus John Cena. Two guys.
Pack them up.
Yeah, two guys.
I'll co-sign for that.
Yeah, two guys that are just like, at one point John Cena was like that, like strong guy, and then you have Braun Breaker being that guy. So I think that would be great as well. I think also another dream match I think would be John Cena and Kevin Owens. I think they would have a good match. I remember the rivalry when Kevin Owens was coming from NXT, and shocked the world by beating John Cena in his first match. And I didn't even expect him to do it because I'm just like, look, he's gonna lose to John Cena. He's gonna lose to John Cena. And then they actually won the first match. I was like, oh dang, he won. But yeah, and I think the obvious one is Randy. Obviously, they both have history and like they've been rivals before. But I think it'll be good to have both of them go at it one last time. So that's what I would consider my dream matches and my favorite memory. And I just want to say I want to thank Jay for that memory because I remember that too. I remember watching that. He just threw him in the sound. I was just like, damn. But the one memory I will say that I was able to watch was Jim Ross saying, "Thank him for being in it. Who's at number 30?" And literally, you hear the man's music, the pop out. I'm like, yo, wait, I thought he was injured. And I'm talking about John Cena coming back from injury to return to the Royal Rumble at number 30 and winning the whole damn thing and blowing the roof off of Madison Square Garden. What a goddamn moment. I was just like, holy shit. I was like, holy shit. Because I'm thinking, oh yeah, Triple H is going to win. No, John Cena comes in. I was just like, oh, damn. I already knew. I was like, yeah, John Cena's winning this. But that was one. Yeah, it will probably go down one of my favorite memories for John Cena. Like, out of all the things I could have picked, and there's a lot, I was really tempted on putting John Cena, giving him the what was called the FU, but retitled for the Attitude Adjustment to Edge off of the ladder through 2 tables. I was tempted to do that, but I decided to go with that with the return. But I'm excited to see what John Cena gives us for this next year for as long as we have him. So I'm happy. So yeah, that's it for me.
Brother Bam, do you have any favorite John Cena moments growing up as a kid?
Okay, so y'all might get a little upset with me or disappointed.
Oh boy.
But I don't remember John Cena like that. Like I just remember him playing in some movies.
Got you.
Oh, I do remember you saying you fell off watching wrestling around 2000 era. So
yeah, that was about the time John Cena was coming in. So yeah, that makes sense.
Which movies do you remember?
The Marine. I don't know. Not even.
Oh God.
Well, that was really. I mean, there was more, but that's really the main one back then. So that's what I kind of expect you to say. Honestly, that first Marine was probably like not the best, but like the most like watchable because it was because it was original. Yeah. But I'm off that.
It wasn't that good, but hey, it was.
No, it wasn't. That's what I'm saying. It was at least original. Yeah. Right. It was the most original.
For me, my favorite John Cena moment, it's between ECW One Night Stand 2006 at the Hammerstein Ballroom versus RVD. Classic right there. There's the only time that has been slightly matched was Money in the Bank 2011. Slightly matched. But aside from that was I can't remember the pay-per-view. It might have been Judgment Day 2005 when John Cena defended the title against JBL in an I Quit match, and he was bloody from head to toe and still won that shit. His entrance from the beginning was dope because he came out performing My Time Is Now because I think the album had just came out around that time, something like that. And he had the spinner belt. The spinner belt was on the T-shirt that he was wearing. And he also had a DJ behind him, like doing scratches during his entrance and shit like that. That was a good ass match. As far as a dream match, like everyone said, we want to see John Cena versus Randy Orton one last time. That rivalry is got to be his all-time rivalry for sure. Maybe we could see, because if you guys remember during like beginning of the Triple H era, he mentioned you guys got to pay attention to the small details You remember when John Cena and The Rock had that stare down at WrestleMania? What if we get one more Rock and Cena match as well, somewhere along the line?
Man,
You guys down for that or no?
That's got to happen during this farewell tour, like hands down. I mean, the Rock has the TKO control, so that's got to happen, regardless of anything else happening. So, and yes, that will cook for the entire world, all continents involved. Yes,
the world will burn down to watch that match.
Is that a WrestleMania match, or is it? Are you cool with it on any pay per view? Really, like SummerSlam?
SummerSlam probably.
It don't have to be a WrestleMania match. Yeah, it don't have to be. It can either be Royal Rumble or SummerSlam.
All right. Aside from Randy and Rock, I do want to see Cena and something with the Bloodline, obviously. Not necessarily Cena and Roman, because good God, we've seen it twice already. There's hopes and there's rumors that Brock is coming back at some point. We could see Cena redeem himself from those 16 suplexes he took. We could see Cena possibly. I want to see it myself. I want to see Cena become a 17-time world champion. That's got to be a scratch off on his bucket list, hopefully, during his farewell tour. But that's all I got for that. Final topic of this podcast. The death of Slim Shady finally came out. Everyone said they had their chance to listen to it from front to back. So let's start with Spooky. What are your overall thoughts on the album?
So I'll be very upfront. I don't listen to much hip hop, but since it's Eminem, I had to listen to it. So I listened to it this morning and somewhat again through the afternoon, and just for me, listening to it, it was pretty good. Like the way he was telling his stories, the story between himself and his alter ego Slim Shady throughout that whole album. It was really creative in my opinion. And the more the album kept going, it kind of started changing to his perspective and what he looks at now. And even with the little skit he added into the album was very cool as well. But if you were to ask me stand out tracks for me, Temporary was a good one for me on a personal level. It was a little hard to get through, but it was still a great song as well. Habits, that fucking melody and Habits with Chef Kiss. Evil was a good one too.
All right, no doubt. Jay, so your overall opinion on the album and also your top 3 tracks that stood out to you on the album.
Okay, what was that? Had to put some up. Okay. Overall on the album, so I got a chance to listen to it earlier this afternoon and then a little bit later. So just overall with the whole presentation of the album and how he basically kind of tells the story of how he's having a battle with him, a battle with his past self, his inside self, mentally, and he's basically telling the story through all of his mental battles and everything. Like you said, through the skits and all, through like the first half of it, when it's like when he's just kind of going crazy with the beats and the raps and like it's back to the Eminem show type thing, and how it just transitions like after like Guilty Conscience 2. I thought that was just I just thought the whole transition and the whole story of the album was like just flawless. Like like perfectly like connected together to where it's all telling like what without like music cuts from the beginning to end. It's all telling like one particular story, like kind of like you're watching a movie inside of his head, and I do appreciate that. Now, there wasn't I didn't super love every song, but there was a good amount of songs that I did like. Evil was one of them. I don't know. I kind of got like in my head about like some things in the past where that song kind of spoke to me, but that's that. Antichrist was straight. Road Rage. Which one? Oh no. Fuel with JID. I thought that was pretty fire. Just that whole flow of everything, and just with the whole thing how the Guilty Conscience 2 transitioned the album from like past antics from Eminem to like new antics, not newer antics, but new like from past Eminem to current Eminem. It kind of like gave a little transition to that while telling like a whole like dramatic skit story about like how he has himself held hostage or some shit. But that one and actually Toby with Babytron, just lyrically that one was pretty cool too. But I think you had mentioned Temporary. That one kind of like hit for me too. I don't think I'm going to listen to that one that often because it just kind of hits on life and what's expected and everything. But that was pretty cool of him to do, as a song dedicated to his daughter in general, But that's how those are my favorite songs. Probably like that's how I feel about the album. Probably I give it like 8.5 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Facts. For me, you guys know I'm a huge Eminem fan, so this album to me, first listen, I'll be honest, it was a 9 out of 10 because I wasn't used to the AI switches between himself and his younger self. Sometimes it was kind of on some songs, but the more I listened to it fully over again, it grew on me and I started to like it more. So it became a 10 eventually. But this album, man, took me back to the Encore days and the Marshall Mathers LP days. He was back to basically just name calling random people in pop culture and anything bad going on in their life. He was making jokes about it. And he's known for doing that. And I cannot wait to see the media reaction as far as people responding to everything he said. We've already seen some people responses, but we're not going to speak on that. Top 3 songs is very tough for me to choose top 3 because this whole entire album was a banger. Number 1 for sure is Temporary. Every time I listen to that song, I shed a tear. I'll be honest. Like, although I'm not a father, it's still like amazing to hear like the love he can express for his daughter and the fact that his ability to storytell as if he had passed away from his overdose, being able to explain how he truly felt inside, like not being able to be a father, how he truly feels, It's a true heartfelt song, and that brings back to like the Eminem show days when he was making Haley's song and Superman, like those heartfelt songs, like Sing for the Moment, stuff like that. Number 2 would have to be Fuel with JID. He bodied the fuck out of that, and we finally got a track with 2 top tier lyricists in hip hop right now. JID definitely stood on his own on that track, and I have nothing negative to say about him on there. 3, it's between Antichrist and Renaissance, because Antichrist, the bar that he said when he was like, hideous and insidious as me, no one's spitty is nasty as me. Next idiot ask me is getting this ass beat worse than Diddy did Cassie. That shit caught me off guard. And that had to be like the best bar on the album, in my opinion. And then Renaissance, that's how you start off a fucking album. He was talking his shit on that first track. And the fact that I heard that some of those tracks were like scrapped songs from Encore and stuff. And it's just him just adding on his own little twist to it, basically. So those are my top three. Kat, what about you?
Alrighty. All right. Now that we got everyone's attention out the way, I'm glad you made me go last because thing is, I listened to this album. I listened to it the day of, twice. Then I listened to it again, later that day, yesterday later, and then I listened to it again today. And I came to the conclusion that while I did like some songs here and there and some of the lyrical prowess, I just think the concept of it just for me, I don't think it was executed as well as it could have been. As far as I'm concerned, but I did get some things that I did like, that you already mentioned actually, Lynn, that I'll cover in my top 3 songs list. But what I did like the idea of the concept. I just don't think it was executed as well as it could have been, for me. And then there was a little bit of repetitiveness in some of the songs. I don't want to hear Caitlyn Jenner or / Bruce Jenner, as he like to call him, 5 times throughout the album as my listening experience. I was just like, okay, I got it, good enough. But I did enjoy. There was one song that you mentioned, Renaissance. I did enjoy that. I was like, that is exactly how you start off a fucking album. It was witty. It was witty lyrics. I love the bars in there. It was great. Would not change a goddamn thing about that whatsoever. Love that. I did love. I did end up loving the second half of the album a little bit more. But I do feel like it was kind of a little out of place with what the concept of what he was trying to do. But I did end up liking a majority of those tracks because because I was just like, Temporary. I think is a great song. I think it's a great song. It is in my top 3 songs. It is. I think it's a great song. I felt like I was like, man, it just feels out of place for me a little bit. but that being said, my top 3 songs were, as I mentioned, one, Temporary. I think it's a great song. It's a phenomenal song. And it's a very touching song. That I think, like I said, I think it's one of his more touching songs that I've heard from Eminem in recent memory, which is why I loved it so much. I think the second song I liked, I would say it will be Toby. I know we got a preview of it with the music video and everything like that, but that shit is crazy. Babytron and Big Sean did a phenomenal job on that track, especially Big Sean. Big Sean did great on that track. And also Eminem as well. I think that was 3. I was impressed with that. I love the beat, everything along with that, going forward. And then my third favorite song on the track was Feel. JID is a problem. That man is a problem. Just rapping wise, I was just like, man, this is great. I love the JID. And just put some more positive on the album as a whole. I really love the beats. I did love the beat throughout the entire listening process of the album. I really love the beats as a whole. But yeah, that was what I thought of it. And yeah, pretty much.
Nice. Bam, did you say you had a chance to listen or not yet? I can't remember.
No, I didn't listen to it.
Okay. So I guess we all agree, aside from maybe Cat a little bit, that the album was a banger. I said a little bit because you did say that you had your fair shares of which tracks you didn't like and which ones you did, and explained which ones too. So that's what mattered.
Right.
Overall, though, Slim Shady's back, and I did see a post earlier that says, "Could we see a deluxe album for this?" Because 50 mentioned in that Jimmy Kimmel interview that He has a song with Dre and M, and then he does a song with just him and M. So, along with Snoop Dogg, and possibly, so I'm in touch with Shady Records artist Grip, and I've been told that he has had some studio time with him during the album process, but that's all I've been told. So there could be a track with more Shady Records artists coming up, or possibly more features. But did you guys get to hear the bonus tracks that were on there as well? Or are you guys not aware of that?
I will speak for, I guess, myself right now. I did not get to listen to it. I did want to listen to the album just to kind of like, as I'm doing my reviewing process and everything like that, kind of slowly digest that and then get to those tracks.
Right.
But yeah, I haven't listened to the bonus tracks, but I am aware.
What bonus tracks though? Are they on Apple Tunes?
No, if you bought the digital album that was on his website, his like merchandise website, it came with 2 bonus tracks. Unfortunately, you have to buy both separate albums because one bonus track comes with each album, which is weird. But hey, take my money, fuck it.
Okay, I didn't know that. I might look into that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the 2 bonus tracks, if you guys want to look into it later tonight or whenever you have free time for the next episode, we can look into it. The first song is called Luca and Kyrie, featuring 2 Chainz, and it's produced by DJ Premier.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's going to be interesting. I won't give any spoilers on that. I'll let you guys take the time and listen yourself. The second one is called Like My Shit. It's just a plain old trap beat produced by DA Got That Dope, and Eminem just being goofy on it pretty much. He's spitting with a chill, laid back flow, but he's being goofy at the same time. Just spitting bars. That's about it. But that concludes this episode of High Ground Unscripted. I am the host, Official Insanity, here with OG Bam and our guests, Kat, Jay, and Spooky.